to this week's Live Monday Music Motivation. These are always so fun because I sort of get to share some of the things that I'm thinking about and working on, and sort of see how that can be applicable in your clarinet journey and your playing, and really any of your music playing, because usually these aren't super clarinet specific. So even if you play another instrument, you can get some good stuff out of this. Today's is a really fun one because I have a somewhat exciting announcement. It's exciting for me, at least. And I think it's, again, going to be applicable and has some past lessons that I think will be great for everybody. So first of all, the title. This is something that somebody I follow, Dean Graziosi, who's a marketing and mindset person. He says this all the time, to not dabble, to go all in, to play full out, all that kind of good stuff. And it was a really important lesson that I learned a couple years ago when I sort of tried out for the International Clarinet Association's Young Artist Competition. This was in 2021. There's a video of it on my YouTube channel, and actually I did a little blog post about it back then when I more regularly did blog posts. But what I learned and what I did was the Young Artist Competition is for, I think, up to 27 or 28 year olds. And it's solo pieces. So, or pieces with piano, it's solo repertoire, which is really cool and a lot of fun. I had been somewhat interested and knew about this competition for years prior to that, but was always so busy with recitals and grad school auditions and things like that I didn't have time to actually go for it. And then I kind of forgot about it. In 2021, I saw a former student of mine was doing the competition, and I thought, hey, that might be fun to give it a go. I decided to do it 2 months before the deadline, but it was a good year because it was the last year that I was young enough and eligible to do it. It was during sort of pandemic times, so you didn't have to do it with piano accompaniment, so that saved some money, which was nice too. So I figured there's 2 months, which is way less time than normally anybody would want to prepare for something like that. I feel like especially that year was some particularly challenging pieces, and but I decided to go for it anyways. And what I did was figure I'm just gonna try for it. If I get a good recording, I'll submit it. If not, no problem. It'll be fun to sort of learn these pieces. And I did a good job preparing for that and was quite happy with that. And I think it was actually a good milestone in my playing journey where I sort of proved to myself that I can learn really, really hard music in a very short amount of time. And I also learned a lot in that music because I had to circular breathe. I had to play some really fast stuff, and there were some things in that music that I had played similarly challenging things and other stuff, but there was just tackling that really difficult music in a short amount of time felt really good for my playing. I did not place in the top 3 on that competition. I have no idea. I could have been 4th. I could have been, I think there were 16 or something that year who submitted. So I have no idea. But I do know that I went into it with this mindset of sort of dabbling and I'm just gonna see if I can learn this, try it out. If I get a recording, I'll submit it really low key, which was fine. But that's not the kind of mindset that will lead to winning. One of the big takeaways that I had from that was if you want to win something, you have to go into it with the mindset that you want to win, you're competing for the top. And what that does is it sort of holds you to higher standards as you're practicing. It motivates you to do maybe more practicing, and it sort of helps you to have that mindset that you're not just going to sort of see what happens. You're really going to get it, and you're really going to go for that first place. You want to make sure that you don't have too high of expectations, that if you don't get first place, then you'll feel bad about yourself, because we never want to do that. But having the sort of goal, and that's what you're aiming for, and you're going to be your very, very best so that you're very competitive, is great. And that's ties into where I'm at now, where I found out last Monday night that I made it to the final round for the International Clarinet Association's orchestral audition competition. I'm too old for the young artist competition now. I'm not young anymore, apparently. So I did the orchestral audition competition because I wanted to sort of have a chance to compete and play and, again, challenge myself to do these kinds of things because it's good for the experience. And I made it to the finals, so I get to play at Clarinet Fest. So for anybody who's going to be at Clarinet Fest in Denver in July, you can watch me play at the orchestral audition competition. But most importantly is this time I'm going into it trying as hard as I can to be my very, very best so that I can win the competition, because I made it to the finals. So that's the first step. So I might as well go out there and give it my all and win, rather than just like, oh, I'll just sort of try it out, see what happens. I'm not dabbling. I'm going all in, playing full out, and I'm gonna aim for winning. And what that means is I'm gonna need to plan my practicing better, organize my practicing, and be ready. I can play the excerpts well. Obviously, I made it into the finals, and it's the same excerpts for the finals, so I know how to do it. What I need to be working on now and really refining is how to do it consistently and confidently, so when I'm on the stage, I get the results that I want, and I get how I actually want it to go, and what I want to do out of the clarinet and with the music. So that's sort of my game plan and where I'm at in my practicing. So for my template, which we'll talk about in a minute, I have on there to actually plan and figure out what do I need to do, like what else can I get out of these to make them exactly how I want them to go and be able to consistently and confidently do it. So there's all going to be all kinds of fun stuff in there, and maybe in future Monday Music Motivations or other YouTube videos, I'll talk a little bit about how I'm practicing and what I'm planning on doing to get in that sort of audition mode and really be able to go out there and get exactly what I want out of it. So that's sort of what's going on for me. And if you're working on a competition or an audition, you can sort of have the same mindset where don't dabble, go all in, prepare with the sort of mindset that you're going to make the decision easy for whoever is having to decide, whether it's the teacher at a school you're auditioning for or the judges in a competition. Just go for it, prepare your very, very best. Make it so when they hear you play, they're like, yes, I want them to come to this school, or absolutely they should be in this festival, or yep, that's like the first place best in the competition. And again, you can't control what other people do, so maybe it will be very competitive, but you can prepare with that mindset of, I'm going to make it easy for them to decide because I'm going to play my very, very best, and that's going to be very, very good. So that's, if you're doing that, can work. However, I imagine a lot of you don't have a specific competition or audition or something that is easy to go all in. When you're competing and auditioning, it's natural and intuitive to think like, yep, all in, go for it, go for winning. But most of music isn't about going for winning and competing so much. And even competitions are really just about playing your best and showing up. But you can apply this idea of not dabbling and going all in also in just learning music. I bet you've had a lot of concerts and performances in your band or orchestra or community band or whatever groups that you play in, where you've kind of dabbled in the preparation and in the performance, where you got the music and you're sort of like, okay, yeah, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to play it in rehearsals and it'll sort of come together. And I bet when you have that sort of dabbling in the preparation, the results are usually a little bit less satisfying, where you get to the concert and sort of It goes pretty well. Maybe you even surprise yourself and it goes a little bit better than you're expecting, but it never feels like, oh man, I really worked on this and I really knew what was going on. And in the performance, I felt in control and confident and consistent and knew what I was doing. If you do prepare really well and go all in with the preparation, then the performance is much more satisfying because you know you really worked hard for it. You refined everything. You knew how the music goes. And then in the performance, you can sort of be in the moment, sharing and creating music and connecting with your fellow musicians, connecting with the audience, connecting with the conductor. And that's a whole different level of playing rather than the sort of more defensive playing where you're making sure that you don't play a wrong note or wrong rhythm because the music's still a little bit unfamiliar to you. So that's how you can apply this idea of not dabbling but going all in, even in the most basic of band music. Even on the easy pieces, you can go all in learning it and have a more rewarding experience because of it. So that's my sort of motivation and hopefully inspirational advice for you this week, is to go all in, whether it's a competition, an audition, just your regular old music, a recital, whatever it is. Like, really go for it in your preparation. Go in with the mindset of you're going to play your very, very best. This is going to be a new peak of your best. And if it falls apart a little bit in the performance, that's okay. It's not something that you have to live up to. It's something that you get the opportunity to go for. So don't feel bad about yourself if it doesn't make those expectations, but prepare like you're going for first prize, even if it's just a concert. So now to actually do that, this is the real key. We can talk about like, yeah, I'm going all in, but the way to do that is to fill out your template. So you've probably seen one of these before, but if not, we have a little template. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started to get the download of this, and also a bunch of other great handouts for playing clarinet and music things. But this is what it looks like. You can also create it on your own because it's very simple. Just the date for the week, reflection on how things are going, goal for this week, and then your plan. And the idea behind this is it gives you sort of an opportunity to check in, appreciate the things that are going well, maybe find some things that you're going to have to adjust to reach the goals that you want, get clarity and set the intention for where you're going this week with your goal, and then most importantly, plan it out. Put your practice times into your calendar, set reminders, do whatever you need to do to actually take the action. Because when we are consolidating the information that we have in that reflection, we're setting the intention and know where we want to go, then we do the action to get there, then you're going to get better this week and better next week and better the next week. And next thing you know, you're going to be in a whole different level of playing than where you started. So that's it for today. Right now, right when this is done, fill out that template. Again, you can download it if you want. You can make it yourself, put it in your practice journal, whatever you need, but consolidate where you're at, reflect on how things are going, set your intention, set your goal for the week, plan when you're going to do it, and have a great week of practicing. I hope that this has been helpful. Fill out that template, and I will see you next week on the next live Monday Music Motivation. Have a great week of practice.